Hi there guys, it's Baxter from GNC Newcastle, and I'm here today to talk to you about protein, what protein is and what it does, and what proteins are out there. Now the first question, what are they? What is protein? Now protein is made up of amino acids. Now amino acids, they're basically the building blocks for life in general. Everything that you see pretty much in the body is based on the protein. So there is 23 amino acids there that are commonly known, and they are subcategorized actually between like essential and non-essential. Essential amino acids are amino acids that the body needs to actually get from your foods or supplementation. The body cannot make them. However, non-essential amino acids, you can actually make them or synthesize them in your own body. Now, there is also a ninth essential amino acid, which is only really essential for kids or infants, called histidine. And basically, that's only essential, like I said, for just kids. For the rest of us, adults, it is 8 amino acids. What do proteins do in the body? Now, protein is a macronutrient, which means basically large and nutrient. You need large amounts of this stuff in your body. It has many uses, such as in the immune system. It's basically when you ever get viruses or a bacteria infection, something like that, your body produces or sends antibodies, which are protein. Now, those antibodies stop the multiplication of that virus or bacteria, and hopefully it kind of quells it. It's also proteins are really used in the pH balance of your body. Now, the pH system is basically how acidic your body is and how alkali your body is. Your body fluids, such as your blood, saliva, etc., all function the best at neutral pH, which is 7, if anyone asks. Many things can change that, though. The foods that you eat, the drinks you drink, even pollution and stuff like that. So loads of things can change that, and they can lead to health problems and symptoms to do with that. Now, protein in the body actually act as a buffer for this. Basically, if the pH of your body goes too acidic, it picks up hydrogen ions, and if it's too alkali, it releases hydrogen ions into your blood. Now, if you need to know what hydrogen ion is, just look it up on Google. I'm not going to get too scientific today. Now, protein also has a use in the structure and movement of your body. Now, protein is present in every cell in your body. That includes hair, nails, skin, muscles, bones even. It's everywhere. Now, these proteins are called structural proteins. They basically give you the structure you have. So without it, you'll just be like a pile of jelly. You won't be able to move. You won't be able to get up. You won't be able to do anything. And one of the most abundant proteins in your body is collagen. Would you believe? Now that's in skin, ligaments, tendons, bones, etc. So I wouldn't necessarily say it was a anti-aging thing, is protein, but collagen is an anti-aging product. So I'm just saying. Protein is also used in transportation. Now, protein plays a vital role in nutrient transport around the body, such as carrying sodium and potassium in and out of the cells in the body, which help maintain a good balance of electrolytes in your system, which helps with cramping or muscle soreness and fatigue after a training session or a match or something like that. So it's quite important to have that there. Proteins also carry many vitamins around the system as well, so such as vitamin A, and it carries them from the organs to the cells themselves. So it's really needed, but probably the most important protein I would say in the transportation side would be a protein called hemoglobin. Now, hemoglobin is present in just red blood cells, and basically that is responsible for the oxygen, carrying oxygen around your body into the cells, and also taking away carbon dioxide and taking it to the lungs so it can be expelled from the body. So protein has many uses in the body. Now there's different types of protein. I usually kind of go fairly simple with this. I keep them animal proteins, vegetable proteins. You can do whatever you like, but that's what I do. Animal proteins such as chicken, beef, fish, eggs, dairy, lamb, pork even. You get the picture. Like anything from an animal, that's animal proteins. Vegetable proteins, the most popular ones are things such as soya, rice protein, hemp protein, nuts even. You've got pea protein coming out very, very strongly right now. There's loads of different things. But in this store, as it's supplementations that we do, we're going to actually talk through the supplements side. Basically, we've got many different products, and a lot of people get very kind of confused when they see how many we have. So I'm just going to break it down for you guys. We're going to start off with hydrolyzed protein. Now, hydrolyzed protein is the most expensive that we've got. But it is the highest quality, and that's the reason why it's the highest quality is because it's so quickly absorbed. Basically, it's had enzymes added to it already, which are kind of present in your stomach anyway, and that partly digests that protein. So it's when it goes into the system, your body doesn't really need to digest it as much as, say, another protein, which means quick uptake and basically your digestion. A lot of people have problems with digesting protein shakes and stuff like that. They maybe visit the toilet a little bit too often. Hydrolyzed protein, you have very little of that. You don't get bloated, and like I said, as it's partly digested, it gets absorbed really quickly. The next one we go on to is whey isolate. Now, whey isolate protein is one of the quickest. It's the second quickest out of the lot. Now, these are very, very quickly absorbed as well, but it's less expensive. It's not as expensive as the hydrolyzed protein, and it's probably one of the most popular in this store. Very quickly absorbed, and it's usually very low carb, which again, you're just going to get lean tissue, lean muscle. And so if you are on a carb controlled diet, or you're watching your carbs, or you want to get carbs from your foods, isolate or hydrolyzed protein is a great way to go. The next one that we go on to is whey concentrate. Now, whey concentrate is probably the more basic form of protein in here. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's the more basic. It's relatively cheap, but it's a great start point for like any beginner that's just getting into the gym, or just getting into a sport or something like that. It's going to give you the recovery that you need, and it's not necessarily going to break the bank doing it. It is a little bit slower to digest, so slower absorption than the first two, but still you're going to get the protein intake at the end of the day ultimately, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. The next protein that we go on to is casein. Now, casein is a slow digesting protein, which usually is in the system for about 5 to 7 hours. Now, a lot of people use this just before bed, when you're having no food for that 6-7 hour period, maybe 8 hours. I don't know how long you sleep, but in that period of time you're not eating. Now, a lot of people take protein there, so like this the casein protein, so they actually continually have a good supply of protein throughout the night, which can help with kind of recovery times, and also, you'll still be sore in the morning, but less, not as bad. The next protein that we come to is soy protein. Now, soy protein, it's not that popular amongst most carnivores, but vegetarian wise, it's one of the best. It's great vegetarian protein. It's loaded with glutamine, which is going to help with recovery. Arginine as well, which is a vasodilator. So basically, say that's your blood vessel. Vasodilation means to increase the blood vessel, like the size, which allows more nutrients to go through that blood vessel on that blood, and that basically means the muscles can get or recover a lot quicker. And it also has a high amount of BCAAs. Now, BCAAs again help with recovery rates, so it has its good qualities definitely, and it's usually low in fats, and it's not as processed as some of the other ones, so it's definitely something you can think about. The next one is milk protein isolate. Now, milk protein isolate is actually a combination of casein and whey protein. Now, it's fairly similar profile to like the soy protein, but it's not the biggest seller out there. You know, it's loaded with amino acids. Don't get me wrong; it's still a very good protein, but it's a little bit cheaper, but it's not as popular. I'll just say that. And the last one is a very old school protein. It's an old school recipe, and that's egg albumin. Now, egg albumin or egg protein is sourced from eggs, and it's what a lot of people used back in the day when basically whey wasn't really around. It wasn't that popular. This was what they used, and this is how they got great physiques then. And basically, eggs have got one of the best or most complete protein profiles out there. So you know, you're definitely going to get lean muscle, very low very low fats, so you're not going to get huge amount of weight on it, but you're going to get good lean. Those are some of the proteins that are available here. And again, like I said, you can always come in, ask questions to us about proteins. We will be going a little bit more in depth on certain things like that, what a good protein is, bad protein, etc. But those are coming up, don't panic. Anyway, this has been Baxter, GNC Newcastle. Have a nice day, guys. Take it easy.